Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Lydia. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So I decided that this was the month to step into BookTube. I just want to preface this by saying I cannot and will not speak eloquently about these books. If you do not want spoilers, I may accidentally give you spoilers. So if you see a book that is on your TBR, just skip through. I'm going to try not to give spoilers. So this video is going to be about the books that I read in the month of March. I will be looking at my phone on my Goodreads because I don't have the stack of books with me. I have 3 of the books that I read this month, and I definitely read more than that. So there are some books, I think there's one book that I started in February, but I don't think that I really started reading it until March. So on my Goodreads it says that I started the last day of February, I believe, but we'll get into it. So settle in, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and let's chat books. Okay, so the first book that I read this month was The Cruel Prince, and I did start that on February 28th, but I don't really think that I started that until much later. That one was a hard one to get into for me. I did like it a lot. This book is part of the Folk of the Air series. It's the first book by Holly Black. I rated it a 4-star. When I rate something, it's not hard to get a 5-star out of me. It really isn't. And so this book was kind of hard for me to get into, but it was not bad. I'm not a huge fantasy reader, but it was a recommendation by my sister, so I went ahead and did it. So it is an enemies to lovers trope. It is about the main character, and I feel like there are notes of women empowerment and just rising to power, realizing that she does have power and that she is a human living in like a mystical fantasy world, and so I feel like it's a lot about her self-development and becoming who she's supposed to be, and so that is not the right book. That is the 3rd book of that series, but I thought it was a really good book. It was really slow going for me. If it was a little bit faster developing, I think that I would have given it a 5-star, but it was a really good book. So the second book that I read this month was The Wicked King. It is the second book to The Cruel Prince, the Folk of the Air series. Very good. I don't want to give too much away because I feel like it would. This book is about Jude taking care of her family, realizing what's important to her, realizing somebody's going to betray her. It was a very good book. I did end up giving this a 5-star. I felt like it progressed a lot quicker. There was a little bit more romance in this. In the first book there was like none at all. The enemies to lover was a slow burn. This one started to pick up a little bit, and I thought it was a really good second book. I feel like sometimes second books can fall a little bit flat, and I thought it was the perfect second book. The next book that I read is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Oh my goodness. So good. I am a thriller girl. Psychological thrillers are my favorite. I love them. I ate this book up. It literally took me 5 hours to read this book. My sister did not love it. We trade book recommendations back and forth. She didn't love it. She did not love her writing. I thought it was good. I don't really like difficult to read books. That turns me off really quickly. I like things that progress really fast, and so this book was it for me. It was a 5-star, and I think that it deserved all 5 stars. It is about Millie. She is a young woman with a secret. She is trying to find a job so she can afford to get back up on her feet, and she becomes a maid for a family that has secrets of their own. I thought it was a great book. I will say that the twist, it did take me by surprise. It was very early on in the book for me, in my opinion, but I still think that she did it very well, and it doesn't take much to surprise me, so it did surprise me completely. It did not surprise my sister at all. She knew. She texted me her thoughts as she was reading through the book. I'm excited to read more of Frida McFadden's books. Again, loved that book, love her writing. It was like a definite 5-star for me. So the next book that I read is The Queen of Nothing, the third book of the Folk of the Air series. This book was about betrayal and rising up from the ashes, and it was just so good. This was a 5-star for me. And I definitely think this book was better than the first and the second. So much happened. I feel like Jude, the main character, really finally settled in and found her footing and became the person that she was created to be. I loved it. I thought this book was so good, and I highly recommend. If you are into fantasy, I think that this series is a good one for you. If you're just dipping your toe into fantasy, I also think this is a really good series for you, but I really did love this book, and I was sad when it was over. I wish that I could read this for the first time one more time. The next book that I read this month is The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden, the second book in that series. I think she has a third book coming out later this year, maybe in June. This was even better than the first. I love... Hello. What are you doing? Coming out of your hole? Bubba, go. I loved this book. I felt like the twist was completely unexpected to me. I had no idea it was going to take place. Millie has moved on from her first set of clients into the big city. She is, again, trying to continue to establish herself and to live alone, and so she begins to work for Douglas Garrick and his wife. Again, she hits it so hard with the twist. I feel like the characters are so easy to just picture in your mind and to really establish. I feel like the location, the other characters, the plot, it is just, her books are just so easy to breeze through. I think I read that in like a day and a half. It was such a good book. I cannot wait to read the third book in her series. So good. I have a list of books from her that I want to pick up and start to read. So I would love to know your favorite Frida McFadden book down below. Just let me know. Okay, so the next book that I read this month is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I thought it was really good. It is about a group of people going to an island for a wedding. And it is just different perspectives of the wedding guests. It is a thriller, so it is, there is a big mystery that I feel like the story developed very nicely. Didn't really ever get bored. I was constantly sitting on the edge of my seat wondering what was going to happen next. It was a really good book. And I think I gave it 5 stars, maybe 4. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really good. I did like her writing in this book. I am reading another one of hers that we will talk about in just a second. But I do recommend this book. I thought that the characters and the plot developed very nicely. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I never really got bored with it. I really liked the differing point of views from this book. I definitely recommend it for those of you that like thrillers. I didn't ever really know what was going to happen and who made it happen. So very interesting book. I thought it was really good. The next book that I read was The Quiet Tenant by Clements. I'm going to say the last name wrong. Clements Miquelon. I don't know. It was very good. It is, again, a thriller. That was, if I could have given it 10 stars, I would have. It was, I wouldn't say it was fast-paced by any means, but it was not slow at all. I felt like everything just flowed together so well. There were never any, like, dead spots of, something that you had to trudge through. So this book is about a girl that had been abducted and held captive by her abductor for 5 years. And it is just the story of her life living in captivity. So good. So good. If even that little like snippet sounds like it's up your alley, I recommend. There are different point of views with the girlfriend, the girl that had been abducted, and then the abductor's daughter. So very differing perspectives, but so good. He is a serial killer and decided to keep one girl, and it's her story. Love it. I don't have a lot of the books that I've talked about, I have loaned out to other people. I think that I will probably read that one again one day. Such a good book, and if you take any of these books as a recommendation, that is the one that I would say you need to go out and buy. The last book for the month of March is going to be The Paris Apartment. This book, I am not even gonna lie, I have not finished it yet, but I think I'll finish it by tonight. It is March 31st. This has been a hard read. This has been a very hard read. I picked this one up before I picked up the guest list. It has been the slowest going book that I have read in quite a while. It has picked up and it has gotten better, but I definitely think this is probably going to be a 3-star read for me. I don't want you to take my word at it. This is about a girl. Her brother has gone missing. She was coming to visit him in Paris, and when she arrived, he was not there. So that's all I'm going to say because I haven't finished it. And so it is just about the residents of the apartment complex. It has differing point of views, and so you go through all that, and I have an idea of what I think is going to happen. So we'll see if I'm right. I really loved the guest list. And so I was very disappointed, and I'm still very disappointed that this one's kind of falling flat for me. But this is probably going to be the last book that I read. It's definitely going to be the last book that I read for the month of March. So that is the books that I have read in the month of March. Let me know down below if you've read these books and what you rated them. I would also love any and all suggestions for books for April. I don't have much yet. I'm trying to read all of the books that I have here at my house. I'm hoping to get a library card over the next week or so. But I would love to know what you read in the month of March, what you have planned for April, anything that you think would fit with the books that I like to read. I'm also going to link my Goodreads account down below. I keep that very, very up to date. And if you like this video, let me know. I may do more book content in the future. Again, I don't speak very eloquently to begin with, and so when it comes to books, it is a little bit intimidating to put book content out there because there's so much and so many people that can speak better about books and have better opinions, I feel like, than I do on books. But if this is up your alley, let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.